Hello there, welcome back. So last night I was asked the question of how do I get over the feelings of just being a failure because my marriage ended in divorce? And this is a question that kind of comes up fairly frequently. And it also sort of has affected me to a great deal over the course of coaching with people and giving a relationship advice, because there's plenty of times when whoever I'm talking with or helping, their marriage ends in divorce. And so I have the same thoughts myself. Is this failure? So it's a really, really common thing. And certainly no one gets married with the hope and desire that it all ends up in the family splitting apart and split finances and kids being shuttled backwards and forwards between two houses. No one gets married with that being the dream of the outcome. Admittedly, not many people dream about the marriage ending in death, but this is where we are. And the thing that I keep seeing over and over again is by the time people are really realizing the marriage is in a great deal of trouble and they're motivated and interested to work on things, very often by then they're just too late. I mean, the game is over, but it's not quite over yet, kind of, sort of. It's almost like you're playing football and you're down 42-3, and there's 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. The game isn't over, but the game is over. The outcome is assured. So I've seen this time and time again where people realize they have to do something. They read, they research, they get all the help, they do everything. They really bust their butts to try and save the situation, and it's just too little, too late, and it doesn't work. And I also see plenty of times, though, that the game, in a sense, was always rigged against them, and the true problems were happening all the way back at the beginning of the relationship, or even all the way back at just the question of partner selection. Should they have married this person in the first place? And bearing in mind, I'm talking to people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, looking back at a decision that they often made in their 20s. And what they know now is not what they knew then. So the question of failure becomes like, should that person in their 20s have known everything I know now to have made a better decision? And I look at plenty of couples and I see very frequently there's one or both of the sides of the couple where they had such horrific events in their childhood and in their upbringing and their early relationships that they were always predisposed to blow up in some way. And pretty much anyone who married them was going to run into these problems, and the relationship was always going to be very, very hard or impossible. And I've seen plenty of times, like if I swapped places with the guy I was talking to, and I had married his wife and he had married mine, the stories would not be that different. He would have had a fairly easy, good, happy relationship. I would have had a terribly hard one that would probably end in divorce. So if there was no real chance at success, it was always predisposed to blowing up, can you really fail at it? And it's a bit of a moot point, because like, if you don't have the true ability to succeed, how truly accountable for failure are you? And again, some of these choices and major life decisions could have been made decades before the marriage finally gives up. And often what I say is that, when the marriage finally ends and my client or the person I'm advising, whatever, goes on to the dating marketplace to meet new people and see if anything can work out for them, they get immediate attention. There's a lot of interest in them. And when they do establish relationships with somebody new, they are just shocked and stunned, almost to the point of confusion, at how easy and good the relationship is with this new person. And everything that they were trying to do to fix the marriage, work out, become more attractive, do this, that, and the other, that had just was like no chance of success. It was just total failure when they tried all this stuff. works every single time with somebody new in the new relationship. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Obviously, there is a sense of failure. No one wanted to end up divorced, but then how truly successful were how truly good were your success chances anyway with a person that you got in a relationship with? I think for the most part, with two people that are basically normal, basically healthy, basically have a reasonable amount of common sense, most marriages are going to last for a long time and have really, really great success chances. But if you're getting into a relationship with someone that is damaged, broken, refuses to seek help, refuses to acknowledge anything on their side of the relationship as an issue, blames their partner for everything, then you're playing against a sort of a stacked deck, and often the best outcome is just saying, I can't carry this person anymore. Whatever relationship you get into has to just be reasonably balanced, where the level of commitment you have, the level of commitment they have, what you put into it, what they put into it is reasonably balanced. And often I see people who have just killed themselves trying to sustain the relationship, doing everything they can to try and make it better, and just feeling a sense of guilt and heaviness that it didn't all work out. They were the ones putting in all the effort to fix it, and their partner had no real interest or desire to expend any effort, and they don't really have a sense of failure. The person who has the sense of failure is very often the person that was working on the relationship and would have done anything to make it better. So, for the most part, you just have to sort of accept what has happened and move on with your life, find someone new, be by yourself, whatever it is, and don't fixate on whether or not this whole thing was a failure. I'm sure other people would judge you, but it's really the judgment of yourself that is the heaviest burden sometimes. And you will know whether you were really, really responsible for a marriage failing by how your next relationships work. If you're doing the same things, you are the same person, and your future relationships go well and easily and are happy and good, you kind of know it wasn't you that blew up the first relationship. So that's my thoughts for the day. And really, from my end, this is something I know intellectually, but it's still hard at times. I really do take it a little bit more personally than I should when I see someone who has worked really hard at trying to save their relationship not get the outcome they want. So it's hard even for me at times. So anyway, that's the thought for the day, and I will talk to you soon.